okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time.
During the press conference, CaneloAlvarez fired back at TerenceCrawford, firmly stating that Crawford is not on his level. Canelo criticized fighters who enter the ring just to survive the full 12 rounds without offering a competitive or entertaining fight. He argued that such overly cautious tactics result in boring matches that let down fans who come expecting a true spectacle. Former world champion Kell Brook, who has first-hand experience fighting elite opponents, like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, issued a strong warning about the upcoming showdown between Crawford and Canelo. Brook emphasized that this fight will be an entirely different kind of challenge for Crawford. According to him, Canelo's fighting style is fundamentally different from anyone Crawford has faced before. Unlike Crawford, who is shorter, relies on speed and technical skill, Canelo brings a dangerous mix of raw power, ring IQ, and tactical versatility that sets him apart. Brook made it clear. Crawford is stepping into a whole new world with...
It's a wow. It's a wow fight, It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I know when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ.
Kell Brook emphasized CaneloAlvarez's rare ability to adapt mid-fight and physically impose his will on opponents. He noted that facing a powerful and versatile fighter like Canelo requires a completely different mindset and level of preparation. Brook expressed his belief that the matchup favors Canelo's style and strengths. His warning to Terence Crawford was clear. This is not the kind of opponent Crawford has faced before. Canelo is a different beast altogether.
Still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know. I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more. He kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience, and just his ring generalship, he's got confidence, he's big.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley has expressed strong confidence in CaneloAlvarez's chances of defeating Terence Crawford. While he acknowledged Crawford's extraordinary talent and impressive record, Lampley emphasized that Canelo brings a rare combination of experience, physical strength, and mental toughness that makes him a dangerous opponent. According to Lampley, Canelo's track record, facing and defeating top-tier fighters across multiple weight divisions, gives him a clear edge. His high ring IQ, along with his ability to control pace and space, allows him to dictate the rhythm of a fight, something Lampley views as a decisive factor. He further noted that Canelo's defensive skills and counterpunching ability could effectively neutralize Crawford's offensive style. In the end, Lampley's analysis suggests that despite Crawford's undeniable skills, it's Canelo's well-rounded, battle-tested game that may ultimately prove too much.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. You know, before the fight against, help me out here last.
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, you know, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the depth.
Terence. Crawford's career is a testament to his immense talent and accomplishments. He has consistently displayed exceptional boxing skills, power, and in-ring adaptability, firmly earning his place among the sport's elite. However, there's a paradox in how Crawford's style is perceived. Within boxing circles, his technical brilliance and tactical intelligence are widely respected. But among casual fans, these qualities are often overlooked in favor of flashier, more aggressive fighting styles. Crawford typically approaches his bouts with calculated precision, blending strong defense, sharp counterpunching, and strategic pressure. While this methodical approach is highly effective, it's sometimes criticized for lacking the explosive action that casual viewers crave. As a result, many fans may not fully appreciate the elite skill set Crawford brings to the ring.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Evanezian, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a Mean Machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switches, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op, because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass whip.
Boxing analyst Brian Bomac McIntyre offers a contrasting perspective, acknowledging Canelo Alvarez's talents but emphasizing Terence Crawford's superior technical skills. According to Bomac, while Canelo is undeniably a top-tier fighter, it's Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship that give him the edge in this matchup. Bomac highlights Crawford's intense motivation and thorough preparation leading into the fight, noting that Crawford consistently enters the ring with laser-sharp focus and discipline. This mental edge, combined with his refined skill set, allows him to control fights and outsmart his opponents. While Canelo's power and experience make him a dangerous foe, Bomac believes that Crawford's strategic approach and technical mastery could be the deciding factors, especially if he's able to stick to his game plan. This analysis sets the stage for a highly tactical showdown rather than a simple test.
Fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career, I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or no everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, you know, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for, but for Crawford, because of his pound for pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager, renowned for overseeing one of the most lucrative careers in boxing, made bold statements about Canelo's physical advantages ahead of the fight with Terence Crawford. He emphasized that Canelo's physique is uniquely built to absorb punishment and minimize damage, a trait that sets him apart from most fighters in the sport.
That Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller, but when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, I mean, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence.
According to Canelo's manager, his elite conditioning, muscular build, and defensive awareness have enabled him to avoid serious injury, even when facing powerful punchers. This durability is viewed as a key asset, one that could play a decisive role against Terence Crawford, who is physically smaller and less imposing by comparison. The manager also pointed to Crawford's recent performances, suggesting they reveal a potential gap in physicality, one that might leave him at a disadvantage when trying to overcome Canelo's strength and resilience.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo.
Of course.
I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger.
Analysts universally recognize Terence Crawford as an elite fighter with exceptional skills and high ring IQ. However, his upcoming bout against Canelo Alvarez poses a unique set of challenges, chief among them moving up in Nachi weight to face a fighter widely regarded as one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers in history. Experts suggest that Crawford will lean heavily on his proven game plan, as making major adjustments this late in his career, especially when jumping to a higher weight class, could be risky and counterproductive. Crawford's style has long been built on precision, counterpunching, and tactical patience, core elements he's likely to maintain against Canelo. The complexity of adapting to a new weight division while taking on a physically stronger, more experienced champion creates a high-stakes scenario. Analysts believe Crawford's ability to execute his familiar strategy without overextending himself will be critical to his chance.
How is Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there. Why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan, come into a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Nico Ali Walsh, a rising boxer and commentator, has offered his perspective on the highly anticipated showdown, emphasizing just how close the matchup truly is. Walsh noted that Crawford's recent sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters have demonstrated his ability to handle larger, stronger opponents, an encouraging sign as he prepares to face the physically bigger Canelo Alvarez. This insight adds a layer of nuance to the conversation, suggesting that Crawford has taken deliberate steps to offset the size and power disadvantage through rigorous training and real-world experience with heavier sparring partners. According to Walsh, this preparation turns the fight into a true 50-50 proposition, where either man could walk away victorious. His analysis reflects the high level of uncertainty and excitement surrounding the bout, where both fighters bring unique strengths and challenges, making it nearly impossible to predict a clear.
Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow boxing.